Alrighty. What is good, my people, my peeps? Let me get situated here real quick. What is good? How are you guys doing today? Well, it's so much going on. Preparation is over. That's the title of this live stream. Preparation is over. It is time to practice what we have prepared, right? So I'm coming to you guys because I wanted to talk about what is going on in Gaza. Uh, and I'm sure you all have heard about what's taking place in Gaza right now with the strikes and the bombings over this past weekend. So I think this is definitely um, the icing that has started to frost the cake. I won't say it's the icing on the cake. I just know that in the Bible it talks about there will be wars and rumors of wars. And for me, I have always been the type of person on this panel, on this platform, excuse me, and on other platforms who talk to you guys about being prepared. Okay, no matter what it is. And so today, what I want to show you is something that I ordered because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I ordered this kit. Well, it's not really a kit. Hold on. It's really not a kit. It is it's an outdoor stove for your bag, what do they call it? Let me see. I'm trying to put it together. Maybe I should put it together in front of you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. This is for your, what do they call it back now? The doggone name just leaves my mind. I guess because I had that little noise campaign down the road a minute ago. Your get out bag. You got to have the bag ready to go, ready, packed and ready. Okay, so I ordered this. I'm gonna show you how it looks, how it comes. This kit. Well, I don't know why I want to say it's a kit because it's not a kit. It is a outdoor stove. And I'm gonna put it together. We're gonna see if it works. Okay, I have not tried this. Hello, how you doing? Uh-huh. Hey, Broken Matrix, end of times are getting closer. Yes, chaos unfolding right in front of our eyes. For sure, for sure. Yes, indeed. How are you doing? I hope you and your family are okay. So I wanted to, what is those bags called? That is crazy. I'm just having a mind for it right now. Okay, so what I have right here is a stove. Okay, so you can put it in your bag. You see how it folds up, and it actually comes in these two solid pieces, and then it has a pin right here. Okay, and you can put it in the bag, your escape bag. Okay, so I have to put it together, guys. So I'm gonna try to put it together in front of y'all. So I'm gonna lean this down, see if I can. Hold on. Maybe I have to do it like this. Hold on. See if I can get it like this. Okay, so y'all can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Okay, and I'm gonna try to see if it works. Okay. So if you are on the go, like a lot of those people in Gaza, I mean, some of them didn't even have the opportunity to escape, right? But you're not going to have fire and a nice stove. Um, Let me put this together. Um, this is the bottom. And the grate goes on the, and this don't look like it's gonna be simple. You see, I'm doing this as you prepare for anything that might come your way. Okay. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I hope y'all can see. Because I'm kind of looking at this. Trying to look at this and put it together. It's not, I'm talking to you guys, it's kind of difficult. Okay, so I got the grate in a little bit. And now I'm going to put this top piece in. Right here. Hopefully I won't. Okay, so I have these together. I got to put it with my pen. So it comes with this little pen right here. And it's not in there all the way. What's going on? I have it. Okay. Squeeze it together. Oh, see? You in the wood pen can go in. So it ain't like this situation. Okay, so y'all see how this pen slides in there? So this is our stove, guys. Y'all see that? If you're if we have to get about the house, this will already wood. So my plants today is dried out kindle. I'm gonna keep one of them out. So I'm gonna put that in there and tissue. We ain't gonna make a guys just to see if this fire will work. And then I brought a little pot because I want to see if it actually has some heat to make it go. Okay. So I think I'm gonna put this in here. Go ahead and put okay, well maybe I'll try to do it. Okay. So I was cleaning out, so it's kind of hot. Get it. Let me see. Oh, see y'all. You see, it's not easy to keep no fire going. You got it, folks. I know they're looking at me like I'm crazy over here outside. It's all good. Okay. You see my fire in my stove? I'm gonna get more water ready just in case I have to douse it. And look at that fire. Just so imagine if we was really going somewhere. Uh-oh. 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 We got fire. There's our camping stove. I'm going to put this on top. It's hot. And we're going to see if the water starts to boil. So put some water in here. Okay, I'm going to turn it back on me. How you guys doing today? So I'm going to wait and see. I'm probably going to keep having to add some more Kindle here. Yeah, it works. It works. And so I wanted to show you guys the water's in here. It's not boiling yet. I don't know if you can see the steam. Fire went out. So basically, this is the gist of my broadcast today about World War III. I've been telling y'all guys to get ready. I'm not saying that they're going to drop bombs here, right now in America, but they are dropping bombs in Gaza, okay? And it's biblical, okay? And so, let me show y'all. Let me turn this around. This thing is blazing. Hold on. Let me see. Y'all see? What's up? Fire. And it's starting to smoke. My water is starting to simmer. Can y'all see the water simmering? That's what's up. And it's warm. I can feel the heat from here. So let me tell y'all what this is. Go ahead and be mad. I'll be putting y'all on game. They be mad. Okay, so this is by Open Technology. Okay, and it's called a one-piece outdoor camping stove. But actually, we saw it was about 3 pieces and a pin to put it together. So the water did start, it did get hot. But let me tell you something. You're going to have to constantly probably have more logs or something in there to keep it going, because you see how it blows, it's blowing out, it's going out. And I don't have wind, like a strong wind blowing. So guys, these are things you got to think about when preparing, because the life that you knew, you should know by now. That's a wrap. After shoot, basically, I think the transition started after 9/11. After 9/11, when they started telling you how to travel, come early, get undressed, let us pat you down, that's when the transition, in my opinion, started as far as policing us. But this, with the bombs dropping in Gaza, this is not a game. This is so not a game. It's so prophetic. All the men that have come over here to the United States as so-called immigrants, but they're the age of eligible to fight in a war. You should know by now, those are truly undercover soldiers. Those are. I have to go in the house. The mosquitoes is coming. Go away, Gates. Mosquitoes trying to get me. Those are truly sleeper cells, but it's a different form of a sleeper cell, because they are not asleep, right? They know what their mission is. There has been videos that have been circulating where a young lady and her friend actually spoke to one of the immigrants, and he showed them, like, they get like a credit card, and they get like $3,000 on this credit card for their subsidies while they're here in the United States every month. Okay, people, every month. What? Yes, sleeper cells. They're sleeper cells. Okay, and these sleeper cells, they get paid like they're in the military, $3,000 every month on their credit card for their subsidies. They're being put in hotels while you have so many homeless individuals sleeping outside. American citizens that probably have contributed to society and have fallen on hard times. You have them scattered from every city. This is not just, we've heard about um, what California and Skid Row, and how Skid Row has taken over uptown California in their higher end districts. This is um, just it's almost like a plague of poverty, and your government has actually forgotten about you as the people who are native, if you will. Let me use that terminology, to this land. It is the second invasion. Um, I watched the movie. Oh, and y'all should see it. If you have Hulu, what are you saying? It's serious. Over 15 to 25 male migrants coming over so far. Yeah. Oh, male migrants coming over so far. Yes, it is very serious, and people don't understand. Like I know people probably they laughing. I'm the ant in the story of the grasshopper and the ant. People probably see me out here with a pot trying to show y'all about water. People they laugh, and they'll see this live stream. They'll laugh. Oh my goodness, look at her. She has a to go stove. You goddamn right. Oh, let me not cuss. Let me calm down. You Skippy, you damn Skippy. I do, and I know how to do things without the government's assistance. Push comes to shove, and it looks like the push has come, and they're about to shove. Okay, guys. So you have these so-called migrants coming over, which is the new army. America is up for sale. It is so much going on that people. I just look around when I'm out and about, and people they're beyond sleep. They are in a coma. A true they're in a coma because the White House is up for sale. Okay, um, if you don't know, African American, they have officially taken off Africa on that byword that they consider us as African Americans. They've taken off that word because they know that a lot of so-called African Americans were indigenous to this land, which are true Indians, are indigenous people of this land. Um, so they have sold you out. They have sold the people out. I doubt if there are any legit government officials around. The only government officials that are around are the peons. Are the peons, guys? The people who are in a coma as well. Those are the only government officials that are around that think that this government is still operational, and it is not. It truly is not. It's a wrap. It's over. They are getting out of Dodge. They have gotten. Let me not say they're getting. They have gotten out of Dodge. Wow, your government has paid for immigrants to come over and um, build up this military um, to fight on behalf of the shadow government that basically has always been in existence. Always, y'all. We're gonna have to go inside. Because Gates's mosquitoes is out and about. I'm gonna show y'all a video. I'm gonna make a video. Y'all remember when I did that live stream about the mosquitoes apocalypse and Bill Gates and his mosquitoes? Somebody caught a mosquito with a microchip on it, y'all. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move y'all inside real quick because I ain't about to get bit up, and I'm going to finish this conversation. Hold on. Let me see. So this is what we were, what I wanted to show y'all. This is a to-go stove. It's by Open Technology. You can put this in your bug out bag. You see the kindling goes out fast, but this is something that can keep you warm, get you something to eat, boil your water. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave it out here. I'm going to bring some water. I should have poured that water on the kindling to make sure it's out, but I'm going to move y'all in real quick. I'll be right back. It smell like I was outside barbecue. Okay. All right. So we're back in. So I had to get out, get away from those mosquitoes. There it goes. It's starting to buffer. So they have their, you know, and are setting up, and they're setting up in the cities first. I told y'all behind, if you could, if possible, get out of those cities because they're going to be knocking down doors, just like they're in Gaza right now, going door to door and literally shooting families, whole families of people, kidnapping the families, torturing. They're doing that right now. This is something I'm not making up. I actually seen a video of a family that was being held, that they had literally kidnapped, basically. If you don't think that people are going to be coming door to door, knocking and tearing down your doors, you better wake up. You better wake up and realize the shift is, you know, the best way I can describe this shift of power that is an illusion that they still have up is as a domestic violence relationship, when either the male wants to leave and he has some kind of psychopath girlfriend who doesn't want him to go, so she acts a fool. I mean, she does everything trying to prevent him to go. One of those type of girlfriends that if I can't have you, nobody will, or vice versa if it's a male who won't and can't understand that the relationship is over. It's a wrap. The abused victim has woken up, and they are not taking the abuse anymore, and they understand their value now. They didn't understand it before. They didn't know how valuable a person they were, and that now they have woken up, and they probably woken up with nothing, and the abuser still has everything. The abuser has the house, the car. The abuser was the primary breadwinner. So they had that person on lock. The abuser kept them isolated from their families. the abuser didn't allow them to socialize, so the abuser thought that they weren't going to go anywhere. And then the person that was being abused was like, wait a minute, I'm walking out the door barefoot and all. I'm done. And see, that's what's going on now. People have woken up, and I'm not saying woke as in this political thievery of the word woke. Okay. Woke never meant red and blue. It never stood for political parties. Okay. It always stood for being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what is going on. And that is what's happening. People are aware of what's going on now. And I hope that you are aware that it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse, and it's only going to get. And I don't want to say that the whole spectrum. If you look at this in a, because I don't want to give y'all negative words to feel like there's no hope, right? I don't want that. What I when I come on these lives, my plan, my mission is to empower you to know that there is hope, but that you have to. The movie I was going to tell you, I'm glad I said the movie I was going to tell you to go watch if you can is on Hulu, and it's called No One's Going to Save You. Okay, if you have Hulu, watch that movie. Now, I'm going to have to do a. This is a spoiler alert. Okay, if you watch the movie, I'm going to tell you basically about the movie. So you can get off the live now. Just come back later, and you saw it. Okay, you saw it. Broken Baby, hold up. Yes, indeed. Let me tell you something. At first I was on social media, right? And this lady was, she was hyped about it. Oh, go watch this movie. No One's Gonna Save You. And it's so ironic because I had heard that phrase before, nobody's gonna save you, from somebody in my life, right? And I was like, wow, that's interesting. But she was going on and on about this movie. And yes, indeed, about a girl and aliens. Let me tell you something. That movie has no words. That's the spoiler alert, okay? That's one of the spoilers. Well, I'm gonna put the first one on Broken Matrix. The first spoiler alert is primarily about a girl and aliens. Now, let me tell you something. When I first went to watch the movie, it was nighttime. I'm not scary, but let me tell you, I wasn't trying to go to sleep watching nothing creepy. So when I was watching it and that first little alien came out, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to check that out in the daytime. I'm gonna have to see what this is talking about in the morning time. So I had forgot about the movie, and then a couple of days ago, I remembered. I said, I was supposed to check that movie out, and so I went and I watched the movie. And first of all, it's so many mind-blowing pieces of information in that movie, and they didn't say one word. Basically, this was pure acting with facial expressions, breathing. But the message in this movie, first of all, the aliens, we've heard of the tall whites and the small grays. The small grays and the tall whites are almost the same. They look alike with their guys. When I saw the intricacies, I'm probably saying that wrong, of how these aliens look, I'm telling you, and I am telling you, that person is not human. If y'all seen that on social media when that girl was on the airplane, I'm telling you, I believe that these are what our government has seen before. And And I know that's going to sound crazy. I know that's going to sound bizarre, but they were just too realistic. Okay. And I'm saying that also because there was, and y'all know that I used to speak on Pastor Stephen Darby. He passed away, and what you say? Yeah, I just got me one too. You just got what? I don't know. I must have missed something. So Stephen Darby, um, he still has videos on circling around. Now they're on TikTok, baby. But somebody has put them on TikTok. Probably his ministry, someone in his ministry, because his wife still has the ministry up and going. But he was the heart, the breath, and the soul of the ministry. He was speaking on things. This is what you consider a prophet. When someone speaks and tells you things before they happen. And to one of the criteria to identify somebody as a true prophet is when those particular things come to pass. And what he has spoke about has come to pass. Okay, but he has passed away. And I remember one time, and if I can find it, I don't know which one, because he has so many, but if I can remember one of his sermons, he said, because they were after him, not only the government, but when somebody is speaking truth to life, witches, warlocks, y'all, it's not a game. They are on you hard, and it's always a spiritual battle. And so in one of his sermons, he said, we're going to talk about aliens. You know, and I'm the type of person, I like to learn about everything because I done seen things, okay? Things that are not of this realm. And so in the sermon, he says, we're going to talk about aliens, what you perceive to be aliens, what people say to be aliens, right? And I'm going to get back to the movie, y'all. He was like, the little short ones, they call them the grays, with the big eyes and the big head. And most people would think the little short ones are probably about 4'4", 5'5". No, he said, the little short aliens, they call the grays. I've seen them before. This is what he said. He said, I've seen them before. They came into my room. Pastor Stephen Darby, if I can find that video, I will find it for you so you can hear out of his mouth. Okay, you're hearing the secondary for me right now. So Pastor Stephen Darby said, I've seen those short gray aliens before. People mention with the big heads and the big eyes, and they're smaller than you think. And I'm just blown away, okay? And so he's giving his testimony about him witnessing these aliens. And he says, they are small, like small to the ground. Like if y'all could see my hand, not like if they were, let me see my hand. Like if they were, what is this, 5'4", 5'5"? You know, most people think the small aliens are about that height, right? He said, no, these aliens, the grays that they speak of are about down, like they're small, like this, to the ground. They're not that tall, but they look like the aliens that they mention in movies and you know, all this sci-fi that they have given us, right? And he says, those are not aliens. He says, those are demons. And now I know I'm going to lose some people with this one. I know I am. This was Stephen Darby's testimony, not mine, his testimony. He said these things came into his room. He's seen them, and in his testimony, he said that those are not aliens, that those are demonic beings. Okay? That stuck with me. And now that I've said that, I'm going to have to find that sermon and do a video on it and bring it up so that you can know that these words came out of his mouth. See, some people have seen things that others have not. And it's not that, they're so much better than anybody else, because half of y'all wouldn't want to see what we've seen. Okay? My testimony, I've seen the so-called reptilians with the slit eyes. I've seen them. I will stand on it to this day. I'm not backing down. I'm not changing the script. I'm not changing the story. I'm not changing nothing, because it is real. I've seen those people with those entities, those demonic reptilians beings with those eyes shapeshift right in front of me, not on TV, not in a movie, standing right before my very eyes. I did videos where I told you about the different types of eyes, because all of them don't have reptilian eyes. Some of them, their eyes are fully black. Some of them, I told you, there's an eye that I can't describe. I'd have to show you. And they manifest themselves and show certain people. So certain people have seen these type of entities, demonic beings walking the earth. Now, I don't want you to think that I've only saw these type of beings. I have seen angelic entities before as well, and I've spoke about that. So when I heard Pastor Darby talk about these aliens, and he wanted to separate them from your mind of thinking of aliens, and he called them demonic. Now, I can't remember if he went further into detail, because at that time when I stumbled across Pastor Darby's and his message, that's when y'all know the story. I was running from demons. Okay, that's when the Most High woke me up and said, "Hello, wake up. Let me show you something. Come on, Alice in Wonderland. Let's go. I'm going to show you what's really going on in this realm." Okay? And so I had a lot going on. But I remember that sermon. It's true. It's on YouTube. Just if you have to binge watch Pastor Stephen Darby's stuff, binge watch it. You'll come across him speaking on this. So when he mentioned that these aliens that were described like them, the grays, but he said they were small. They were like little, like probably like a toddler, like a 2-year-old height. And he said that those were demonic, right? So let's fast forward to today's time. So when I watched the movie, No One Will Save You, they showed it would basically, from my perspective of watching the movie, that's why you're gonna have to watch it. They showed 3 different types of aliens, but they all look the same in facial features. Okay, they showed the first one that came in that was what you would consider a tall white alien. Well, some people call tall whites the different aliens. They are the white. They look like white people, but they have blonde hair and all that. Not those tall whites. Okay, I'm talking about the tall white aliens that look like the normal ones that with the big eyes and the bubble head. You'll see one of those in the movie. That's the first one that will show itself in this movie. No One Will Save You. Then you'll see another one that is a small one that be scattering around. Okay, y'all. That one, when I seen that one, I instantly thought about when Pastor Stephen Darby talked about the small aliens that he called demonic. Okay, and then they showed this huge, tall, big, like its arms, its limbs were so long. They almost moved like a praying mantis. You know how those praying mantis bugs move? And then y'all have to watch it and glean the nuggets from this movie, because they were telling y'all something and they was without telling you something. Because there's no words in the movie. There's no dialogue in the movie. This big alien, you'll see it a couple of times. It's on top. It crawls on top of this house, so that gives you that's letting you know the dimensions and the size of this alien. When you see it on top of the house, you know that's like when crime scene. I don't know what they call reporters, or when they go out to a crime scene and they're trying to give you the perspective of size, or they try to capture the perspective of a size in a photo or something. So they might put a pin to like this flashlight, and it's a red flash. I don't want to trigger nobody. It's a red flash. I don't know they trigger folks with that color red. So this is nail polish. So this is a pin, and so they'll put a pin beside. Probably this was in a crime scene, so that you can get the perspective of size. Okay. So that's basically what they were doing in this movie. So this alien has crawled on top of this house, and it's huge. You know, this is a huge freaking alien. So this girl, first of all, she was tough because, baby, first of all, from the sheer fear that one would feel, and that's why I think in the word, you shouldn't fear. But the first time you might see something like that, yeah, you're gonna get a jolt, but come on back. You know, it's like somebody you shook and somebody slaps you, and then you come back to reality, or whatever this is, that this realm that we are understanding is not what we thought it was, right? But you got to come back. You gotta bounce back, and this is what she did, right? And so she killed like 3 of them, but they kept coming. I mean, you know, she's in the town. She's running, trying to get help. And what I have noticed about some of the movies that I have seen dealing with aliens, it is always some type of, even when they're talking, because when they're referencing things that I know that they're referencing about us as humans, when they reference the pineal gland, like I told you in that one movie, they were saying that they were aliens, but they weren't aliens. They were referencing the pineal gland, and it looked like a spider right here. That was the pineal gland they were referencing. In this movie, they used something like the same thing, like this whatever, just blob of whatever went into the mouth, but the alien was attached to the vocal cords, right, guys? You got to see it, because I don't know. I think one of the things I can see, I can understand that they're somewhat of their messaging in these movies. So this alien, it affected the vocal cords, right? And so this woman, she done killed 3. She realizes that, and then they showing you directed energy weapons with the beam of light that are coming down that freezes people, that they can't move. You know, you look it around, some people say, I've had sleep paralysis where I can't move. Something's holding me down. I can move and see my surroundings, but I can't move, you know. They reference that directed energy weapon, that beam of light, where she gets beamed, and she's very intelligent in this movie, because she's realizing, you know, certain things that they are doing, but she still gets caught in the beam of light. And then the alien comes, and it finally, you know, gets her, and they're in this beam of red light, and she can't move. And so he's about to inseminate her with, I can get deep. Because there's so much going around on social media that I believe people will get so confused. Let me just finish this. So she's frozen in the beam of light. And so he's about to put this, one of their, it could be changing of the DNA. You know what I'm saying? Because basically that's what it's doing, controlling her body. So this small little alien pod enters into her mouth, and then she goes into like a psychedelic, um, a psychedelic dream state where she's with her friend, and her friend, there was an issue. Yes, like a parasite. That's what it looked like exactly, Broken Means. It's like a parasite. And you know, everybody got parasites. I hate to be, let me say this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we all got parasites, y'all. I remember my mom and them older people back in the day used to say, don't mess with them old men, they got them worms. But I hate to tell y'all, we all have parasites. That's why it's very important for you to, and y'all know, y'all have heard me say it, you know, cleanse yourself, not because they're always going to be there, because our body is truly a doggone, inside of our body is like the universe. Okay, there's people, there's entities and little parasites, they're battling right now inside your body. The good ones and there's bad ones. Okay, it's down to the atom of it all, the nucleus of it all. Okay, the micro, what do they say? The micro cells of it all. Okay, so yeah, so broken matrix was right. So it's a parasite. Okay, we're gonna just call it that. And so it goes into her, and so then she goes into this state of like a psychedelic, like she's high, but like I would have to describe it like a like if I've never taken mushrooms, but I'm saying it probably was like a mushroom high, or a what is that, PCP high. Back in the 70s and early 60s, people were jumping off of buildings and stuff. They were taking this drug called PCP, and it was taking them out this world. People think they can fly and all this crazy stuff. So I'm thinking this parasite put her in a blissful mindset. Okay, and so, but she had cognizant of mind to know that she was in this false reality, okay, on top of a false reality, okay. And so her best friend, which she did something to her best friend, caused her best friend's death, but you have to kind of guesstimate what it was, because there's no words, they're just showing you flashbacks and things that have happened. Okay, so she sees her best friend in this paradise type of you know, high, okay, if you will. And hold on, I gotta close my window, because if I can't see out, I know they can see in. Hold on for a minute. Okay, so I'm back. So she's in this high. She's high. I'm gonna say she's in this dream state. So she reaches her hand because her friend is there, but she knows her friend had passed away. And I talked about them showing you people who died. Oh Lord, it's so much in this doggone movie. It's so much, but I ain't gonna go that route. So her friend has died at the hands of her. Okay, and so she must have realized that was not her friend. Remember, I told you they'll bring people that have passed away into your dream state so that you can be like, oh, so-and-so is visiting, like they did with my dad, right? When I had the dream a couple of weeks ago. Oh, my dad is here. Oh, that's my dad. And it don't be your dad. It's false. It's false. They're trying to trick you. They're trying to be friends with you to come into a contract. But I'm not going to go there because y'all know I already told you about that. So she was aware that that's what was happening. And so she reaches her hand into her mouth to pull out let me bring it back. Broken matrix say, the parasite. So she reaches her hand into her mouth, and then the friend that was all nice and in the dream state of the paradise, because now she sees her friend, starts to scream and go, as she's reaching into her mouth and pulling out, and the friend is starting to act crazy. The friend is starting to go, like, God, dogs, God, it shook me. And so once she pulls her hand out her mouth, she now is back to so-called reality. She's dirty again because she's been fighting aliens. So she has pulled the parasite out of her mouth, the alien that was trying to inseminate her with their species. Okay, so once it's all said and done, she done fought so many of these aliens, y'all. I mean, sister, I have to give it to her. She put up a good fight. She did, and that's probably why they named the movie "No One Will Save You," because at the beginning of the movie, nobody liked her, like targeted individuals, honey. Nobody liked her in the town. Maybe they got wind of the death that she caused her friend, but they was children. It was an accident, and the death probably got spread around like lies they tell about targeted individuals, like lies they tell about people who they want to keep on the outskirts of life, right? Lies they tell. So in the beginning of the movie, she's trying to, go through day-to-day life, waking up, trying to be normal, knowing everything ain't the same. Life is not the same. She waving to the neighbors, trying to be nice. They look at her. You know how you, as chosen ones, targeted individuals, folks look at you. They love to stare. They'll stare at you in a heartbeat. They'll stare at you. They won't wave. Some of them won't wave. They mean mug you. They'll mean mug you. That's how they did her in the beginning of this movie. Her best friend's parents, she was so sorry. She wrote in her journal. Some of y'all journal, keep journaling, keep writing, keep talking, express yourself in words, in music, whatever you do. Keep doing. So she was a journalist, and she journaled, writing to her friend. Her friend had passed away. But that released this stress and things of that nature. See her friend's mom spit in her face. I mean, it was just people was just nasty to her, like they do targeted individuals, just nasty. The plot is so it's just so, what's the word I want to use? Because you would have to watch the movie to see what you would glean from this particular movie. At the end of the movie, she kills about three aliens, but yet and still they get her. They inseminate her with this parasite of their DNA. And then she wakes up. The house is back together again. It's like Mary Poppins. She's happy. It's glorious. It's almost as if it's a surreal type of world she is now in when she awakened, because the aliens have got her. Let me tell y'all. I forgot to tell you this part where they got her. When they finally get her and they pull her up to the ship. Now, in my mind, when they got her, when they finally that beam got her, you know how you've seen it on movies where they be stuck in the beam, floating up in the beam like this, like y'all. And I'm gonna have to talk about these disappearing folks that people are starting to say disappearing off of buses and hospitals. But you know how she was beaming up. The aliens come, they all gather around, and they do this thing to her fort. But they touch. Why they always want to touch here? Why do they always want to touch right here? This pineal gland. They always want to touch this. E.T. phone home. Let me stop clowning. I'm a clown. E.T. phone home. E.T. E.T. phone home. Why do you always want to point here? So all these aliens are surrounding her. She's freaking out. She's been abducted. They're all around her. One of the main aliens has E.T. phone home right here to the pineal gland. The other ones come in, with their different little ET fingers, putting it to the head. And then they make first, I done missed a lot. And I know I gave y'all the message that I'm going to tell the movie basically. But before she got lifted all up into this alien ship, there was one alien that was on the ground, and he was doing, it was Jay-Z, I believe. I believe Jay-Z was on the ground because he was doing, I told you their arms look like praying mantis, right? They didn't talk, they made this sound, this gurgling type sound. But they did arm movements like the pyramids with their arms. I said, would you look at this? Somebody come look at this. And I realized it was just me here. Nobody could come look at Jay-Z in this movie doing his symbolism. It's all in the movie. The alien was doing symbolism in the movie, y'all. Y'all got to peep this movie out. They dropping nuggets in the movie. So I'm going to tell y'all, it's so much that went down in the movie that I peeped out of this movie, and they had no words. There was no dialogue, nothing. You just had to watch it. Because if you know, you know. I guess that's what they figure. If you know, you know. So I had to tell y'all about Jay-Z and his cameo in the movie. Okay? Y'all peep out. If you watch that, see if you peep out Jay-Z and his hand movements and symbolism. So she's up in the spaceship, and they have E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home her. They have inseminated her. The other aliens are around, and they're touching her head all around, right? But the main one is E.T. phone home. So once he does this, they hear this noise, right? All you hear is this gurgling and noise sound, okay, guys? So then they hear this big noise, and then the aliens all look up. So when they look up, you have to watch, because if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it. When they look up, the way the lights and how they made it look like it was multiple aliens, it looked like an eye in the ceiling of the spaceship. Okay, if you don't pay attention, you're gonna miss it. It looked like an eye, and then they got a message from that, and then they came down, and then that's when she woke up, and she was back in this tranquil state, so happy. The home is clean, it's all together. She goes outside, it's a beautiful morning, and she's waving to her neighbors. Her neighbors wave back to her. What? She gets on her bike, that Mary Poppins style where you got the basket and she's pedaling into town, getting stuff ready for a party. And then, y'all, guess what? There's a party, y'all. And then they're dancing. They're dancing at this party. She's smiling, and all, it's the neighbors and the people who did not want to talk to her. So she does her little twirl, and she comes to the camera, and she smiles a big smile, and she waves. And fades black. The movie is over. Now, you might say, well, I don't get it. What? At first I was like, wow, there's so much to unpack, right? If you are on any social media platforms and you're just scrolling, you're just on there, because you're bored, like all of us do. We're on social media, if you watch TV. But for the most part, a lot of people are on social media. So you've probably heard of the Anunnaki. You've probably heard of, I know you've heard of me telling you Nibiru is in the sky, which is the second sun, which is mentioned not only in Hopi prophecy, not only mentioned in the Bible, it's mentioned in many, many books. when Nubaru returns, that the destruction is nigh. It's near. It's a it's a wrap. There's going to be a new start over. Okay. So when I saw this movie, No One Is Going to Save You. Yes, it's aliens in this movie. Okay. And it makes you, well, I'm not going to say it makes you. It made me ponder, made me think. First of all, I didn't like how those aliens look. I don't. I don't want to come to grips with when you see this movie. If you're a thinker like I am, contemplate things. There's so many myths about how we as humans have come to exist on this planet, right? And I mentioned Nubaru. The Nubaru is a star. Many believe it's also the Death Star, the ship as Death Star. You've heard that in some I think it's Star Trek. I think they have the Death Star, which is Nubaru. Okay, so it's also considered a spaceship. And if you know the story of Nubaru, you have to go back before the Bible, before the let me say the how can I say this without, because some people there were texts and written word before we know of the King James Bible. Okay, and what was put into the King James Bible is what was put into that Bible based on what people wanted to put into that Bible. So that's why it can be confusing. So before King James Bible, there were stories of the adventures of. Don't want to go here with you guys, because that is just it's a lot. Okay, so before the Bible story, there was the story of two brothers here who were not of this realm. They were alien beings. This is the Anunnaki and Inky, and I can't remember the other brother's name. And there was a sister as well. Okay, there's a family of Anunnaki. Okay, Anunnaki beings. Okay. And so the thing with me speaking on this, and from that movie that I saw that said No One Will Save You, can make people, if you want to know, if you want to truly start to understand what is going on, it's gonna be mind opening to come to terms with who you are, right? So the what is it? The story of Gilgamesh, okay, and before the flood of Noah, there was the flood because there was two brothers who are the Anunnakis that came to this realm, and they were gathering gold for their realm, right? And other precious metals and things of that nature. You know, everybody. What are wars based upon? Women and resources. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Women and resources. That's what wars are based on. And so they had beings down here that were mining these resources, but they knew that they were of an upper echelon too. They got into a war. Now this is the story of the Anunnaki, okay? And I'm not going in depth about it. I'm just kind of glazing over it so you can get an idea of how if you watch this movie, No One Will Save You, and you know certain aspects about what has happened on this planet, it will blow your mind. It will take you into deep thought. Okay, so these brothers, they got into it. This is where you have one brother that we hear about the Garden of Eden, the garden, okay, which in the what is it called? I want to get the right name. The story of Gilgamesh. It was basically a laboratory. The Garden of Eden was a laboratory because they, the other, like angelic, if you will, beings did not want to labor in the fields anymore because they were just as important as the other Anunnaki. So then they came up with a brilliant plan to create slaves, okay, that will do their work for them here on Earth. Now, from what was said in these books, and these books predate the Bible, okay, that there was a life force already here, okay, but the life force that was here, they were an intelligent life force, but they were not as intelligent as the Anunnakis, because the Anunnakis came, their technology, all of that was advanced, okay. So with that being said, they created a lab. In this lab, in the Adventures of Gilgamesh, I believe that's the name of the book. If y'all want to go look it up, look, all this predates the Bible. Their lab was called Eden. Okay, so they had other beings in this lab that they took from the life that was already on this planet, the intelligence that was already here, but they wanted to they tampered with the DNA of this being, and they wanted them to procreate, but they couldn't procreate. The beings that they were making, Enlil and Inky, they couldn't procreate, right? So their sister. Now this is where a lot of people, because as we know it now, is a patriarchy, right? And I think it's one of the brothers is heavily into patriarchy. Okay, so that's why a lot of people don't even want you to know about about Gilgamesh and the Anunnaki and all of this, because this is the kicker. Okay, this is what will put patriarchy. It will turn patriarchy on its head. Okay, so the brothers are trying to create these slaves, which would be us. Okay, they tamper with our DNA, they capped us, so we couldn't go past a certain age or whatnot. And so that's where of the God gene, because you have a gene that is not of this planet. Okay, some of you have a gene that's not of this planet, and that they consider that the God gene. So when Inky and Enlil were trying to create these worker bees, which are the humans, they couldn't procreate. They couldn't make it on their own. So their sister, I can't remember her name, so you have to look it up. Their sister took one of the beings that they were trying to make have the ability to make babies. She took one of the male species and she put that species into her womb, okay? And she basically, it had stayed there, I think 10 months, longer than, normal humans. So once she kept the baby in her womb. This is the story of the Anunnaki, okay, guys? She kept the baby in her womb for 10 months, and she birthed forth the first human, okay? And this was what she called Adam. Okay. And so once she birthed forth Adam, then she made Eve. And so if you hear that, game over for a lot of people, because that just pisses people off who are patriarch, have the male saying that the male is God is a male and all this and that. And when the two brothers tried to create us, it didn't happen. It just kept falling flat. So that's the story of the Anunnaki. That is the story of how they had the garden, this garden, which was known as the Garden of Eden. And there were more people in that garden. That was said. It wasn't just Adam and Eve. There were more people because they kept trying to get this perfect being. Okay. And so that is why there's so much back and forth when you hear about Egypt and the Ankh. When you hear about the Ankh, if you guys, let me see something. So when you hear, and this is just things I have learned along the way. So you have to take everything in and with a grain of salt. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. This is why a lot of patriarchy, they fought this right here. This symbolism right here. So this right here. I know it looks like a person with their arms spread out, but this is my best I can do on this little piece of paper. So this would be an Ankh, okay? So with this will always represent both dualities, man and woman, because with the circle you had, this represented the womb, okay? And the phallus and so on and so forth. So this is the representation of life, okay? So, but then when you had conquerors come through, and when you had the patriarch system come through, we know because one of the brothers in the story of Gilgamesh, he was about the male dominating this society. This was created, and we know that as the cross. So they took the female out, okay? So there's not this anymore, which represented the male and the female. They said, Jesus, he died on the cross, okay? Which was basically, this was male only, your patriarchy system, okay? It's a lot of research that you would have to take in to understand all of that and how you feel about that, because these writings actually predate the Bible, and so even the flood that they speak about predates the Bible. So people always say, well, if there was a flood all over the world, then how were there humans still, and how could not two people, how could 7 people populate the earth? Because you have been lied to. You have been lied to, okay? There are so many things that are in the Bible that have been taken in and taken out. And although it says not to remove any words or mess with the words of the scriptures, they have been tampered with. And so when I saw that movie, I thought about how the Anunnaki were said to have come down and tampered with our DNA, right? They took out parts where we live longer. They made us live shorter lives, which coincides with the Most High. But the Anunnaki are not the Most High. They're they portrayed themselves to be the higher power, the higher God, but the Most High is above that. And so they had from the Book of Gilgamesh, they had the humans worshiping them, okay, and not worshiping. So that's why you have these different gods that you hear about in the Bible. Don't worship these different gods because they were actually Anunnaki, okay, and they had different gods of sacrifice. Like, but anyway, that's going too far. I want to stay on the point of the aliens, because that's where you understand that they're, well, you should by now. I don't know where you've been, but if you don't, you should by now understand that the reason why your government is telling you of an alien invasion and this and that is because they know that there is an entity that they know that they work with dark entities, dark forces, and they know that there is a higher power. And that is why they've been so diligent in trying to keep these deals with the dark entities that have fallen apart now. Okay? Time is up. Time is up. They have run out of time. And so when I watch this movie, Nobody's Gonna Save You, you hear that on social media. Oh, what you waiting for, the God to crack the sky? Yeah, your sky daddy and all of that. Nobody's going to save you. But they show you these aliens that have manipulated you, that have manipulated the bodies of us through this movie with the parasite, right? It's deeper than just an alien movie. These people are telling you that they are so scared that they're running, but they're telling you something is going to crack the sky. Something is going to come from out of the ocean. Something has manipulated your DNA. You didn't just poof, Something is coming back. But what they know that is coming back is greater than the Anunnaki. You heard me? Yes, the Anunnaki may be part of this war that's been going on. Not may, but you take that with a grain of salt. Do your own research. The day and the time where the manipulation of people via the Bible is over. It's over. And that is probably the reason that it says in the end times that more and more will be revealed. You won't have to rely on man, corrupt, or they may not be corrupt, to tell you. Because if you've been diligent in searching for the truth, Most High God said it's going to be written on your heart, on your mind. Okay? So the day of their manipulation, all manipulation is coming to an end. And we have to come into grips with the idea. Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying, from me watching that movie, Nobody Will Save You. It's on Hulu. I don't get paid to advertise that. I'm just saying. It's on Hulu if you want to go check it out. No one will come save you. You have to come to grips with your DNA was manipulated. And now it's coming down to the end game. Who is who? What is what? But you should know all is going to be revealed. And maybe, like the end of that movie, you'll be in paradise. But it kind of, we hear about that in the Bible too, about paradise, the big party, you know, at the end. And at the end of that movie, there was a party. She was happy, paradise. But she was manipulated with this entity, this parasite that has changed her thoughts, who she was, what she thought about. Because this greater power had the control. And so at the end of the movie too, it'll pan up and you'll see all of these spaceships hovering in the sky. Interesting, to say the least. But just something to think about, something to ponder. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I just wanted to, I went from be prepared, because it's all one and the same. It's all one and the same. Be prepared. If you have to flee, have your, bug out bag ready. We talked about this mini stove that I bought on the go, and to start fire. Put something on to warm it up. Put your bottle, if you have a metal bottle, boil water. Not trying to perpetuate fear or any of those things. I'm just hoping to make you more knowledgeable of the times that you're in, and better times are to come, right? Whether your DNA is manipulated or not. And I'm out, and much, much love.